Alright, we got a 2003 Nissan Altima here. Complaint of a check engine light and intermittent stalling and intermittent hesitation. So let's check it out, see what we got. Alright, let's see what this engine fault code is. And we got a P0335. It's going to be a crankshaft position sensor. And I can tell you right now, based on the symptoms of the intermittent stalling, intermittent hesitation, and a 0335, that's going to be a bad crankshaft sensor. These Nissans are known for this, and there was even a recall and TSBs involved in this, so we don't even really need to go any further in testing. We just need to put a new crankshaft position sensor in this thing. Alright, that crankshaft position sensor lives in the back of the engine between the firewall and the engine, way back in here. We'll have to take this off, and we'll take this cover off to get some more light back in there. So let's get started. This is just a hex head right here. Just pop these four out. We'll just pop this intake tube off. And don't forget to unplug your sensor here. There we go. Alright, now that we got that out of the way, I'm going to go right here, and you can see this bolt right here with this bracket. I'm going to take that bolt off so I can reach my hand in through here. Otherwise you'll be scraping your hand all day on that thing. And it's a 12mm fastener. You just pop that out. That gives you a little more room. You just push that bracket down out of the way. Alright, here's the setup I'm going to use to get that sensor out. I just have a 1/4" ratchet with a 6" extension and a 10mm socket. I'm just going to reach around in there, get the head on the bolt, and get it out. I should be able to reach right around with this. I'll try to get you a shot of it. You can see it's buried in there. This thing focuses. You can see there's your crank sensor back in there. If I can move it around just enough, you can barely see the fastener right there. Got to go around the corner in there to get that fastener out, and then in order to disconnect that plug from it, you have to push that green part of the sensor plug in. Push that green part in, and then you can pull the sensor off. Let me try to take you over here. This will focus. Alright, I got it out. That thing's buried in there. That's what it looks like. It's a lot of fun getting out. Nice design, Nissan. There. That's what it looks like right there. You can see the wire right here. You have to push that green tab all the way until it snaps and then just pop it out. But if these things have been in there a while, that connector does not want to come off. Alright, there's the old one. Here's the new one. I guess that's the part number right there. The customer supplied this, so this import direct by Ozark Automotive. Who knows? See if it's any good. Compared to the old one, yeah, they look the same. They're both the new design. The older design, this plug or connector is on the other side, makes it so you can't get this bolt off without unplugging it first. But as you saw, it's difficult to unplug when it's down in there. It's much easier to take it out and then unplug it. Yeah, let's get the new one in. And Nissan recommends just put a light coat of engine oil, preferably clean engine oil right there, and then we'll install it just like that. Alright, now that we got a little bit of light coat of oil in there, we'll take our new sensor and get it plugged back in. Once you plug it back in, that green tab will pop back out like that. You'll hear it pop into place and you know you got it home. And if you angle, let me show you. If you kind of angle this piece up just slightly like that, you can pop it home, and then you can twist it down and then the bolt hole will line up. I wish I could show you, but you see how tight it is. It sucks in there. And I'm going to do the old piece of paper on the bolt trick to hold it in there. Otherwise you're never going to hold it in there. And there you can see what I'm working with. It's tight. I'm trying to get you a shot in there. You can see, just make sure. Oh, yeah, I'm blocking the light. You can see it right there. Just make sure you get that thing pushed all the way in. So yeah, you got to make sure you get that pushed all the way in so that it's against the housing there, and then get your bolt in. You can see you definitely need to use an extension with a piece of paper so you can get that thing in there. Just get it all the way in there, and then you can snug it up. You can get that piece of paper off there. Yeah, just try to get your paper out if you can. Just get it snug. You don't have to crank it on there. So make sure that thing is flush in there before you tighten it up. Otherwise you can cock the sensor and break it. Alright, we'll get this 12mm fastener on this bracket back in. Once again, just get it snug. No need for torque specs on these little bolts. And we'll get our air filter housing and snorkel back in. Make sure you get those front tabs. Make sure you get your sensor plugged back in. Double check your work. Make sure you got everything. Make sure you tighten down this clamp again. And we'll get our cover back on. Before you do, give it a look over. Make sure you're not forgetting anything. Like your light or any tools. That's all you need, snug. Alright, now that we got it repaired, we'll go ahead and start it, make sure it starts. Make sure the car likes that new sensor. And it fired right up, that's good. It's a good idea to take it on a test drive to make sure it runs okay. And I'll do that later. Alright, we still got the same code, P0335. We'll go ahead and erase that code and get rid of it. And here's the old sensor, as you can see it right here. And the two ways these normally go bad, intermittently, like the problems we saw today, are internally the solder joints go bad, or contaminants get inside the connector here and get on these terminals and cause intermittent problems. So those are the two ways these things go bad. Alright, hopefully this came out. As you can see, it's a tight squeeze in there. It's hard to film, very difficult. Most of the time I could barely see what I was doing. But as long as you know the procedure and know what you're doing, take your time and be patient. This job requires patience. When you're working with little bolts and tiny spots that you can't see, patience. But when you're all done, make sure to look over your work, make sure you don't miss anything. Don't leave any parts trays around. If this video helped you out, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching.